Okay, I have 10 o'clock. We will call the Harrison County Commission meeting for July 28th to order. If you will rise and join me in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there anyone signed up to speak publicly?
Rudy Durai, Dorsey, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Everybody has trouble with that.
Thank you.
I just wanted to bring up here, Mr. Hinkle used, exhorted us to get some more names, and I'd like to turn these in. There's 65 more names I collected. Well, not me, but several people had collected, and I just wanted to turn those in. That puts us over 100 at this point in time. And of course, you've already heard why we don't want the asphalt and, everything else that goes with that. So I just wanted to present that to the commission.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone on Zoom that wishes to speak publicly? Anyone on Zoom? Hearing none, are there any others in here? Okay, we'll move on. Your schedule. Okay, consent agenda. What's the pleasure?
The only thing I would like to pull from the consent agenda is the fiduciary statements that are in there. They should be on next week's agenda.
Okay. Just go head start.
Yes.
So motion to approve and as stated, advance into reference.
Okay, so we're going to approve the consent agenda absent the fiduciary settlements, correct?
Correct.
Correct, Mr. Treagle?
New equipment in there?
Is the new equipment in the consent?
Yeah, is there anything about that? I just want to know, is it a yes or no?
No.
Okay, any further discussion on consent agenda? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 3, payroll change notices.
Motion to approve. A
Did-
through G.
Did we get any further information on G that we were,
Yeah, I would like to speak with you all about G pursuant to the attorney-client privilege in executive session. Take 5-10 minutes, but that's up to you all. I do have a memo prepared to run through on that issue.
Motion to move in executive session as stated, please.
do we need to clear the first motion first?
I would clear the first motion
Okay.
first.
Okay. Motion was made to approve the payroll changes A through G. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed signify by saying no. No. Mr. Treacles?
Well, let me ask you something, Mr. Attorney. I need to hear what you have to say before I vote.
You can vote no, then we can come out and we can reframe a motion, we can hear a new motion.
Okay. We can vote no.
Please note that, okay, now, we'll entertain a motion to go into executive session. For payroll
Pursuant to
change.
the attorney.
Pursuant to it.
Attorney, as stated.
Okay. Any discussion?
No.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Please note the opposition.
How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
Great.
Really?
No.
Let's go get it.
I did know that wasn't, but I didn't see it in time with the Monday noon deadline. Close, kind of right.
And you're down there at the Valley State. You're popping up, aren't you? That's good, it's okay.
Yes. We had, 5,000.
Mine wasn't super, but I right. So it's like,
There's a bunch of people that are getting about it, or even having a time. 80 sessions.
I don't know, if we yell at him or her, might want to, it wouldn't happen. After 5,
Or
Kind of like you. Why would I not want to? It's a lot. Find all of them. 5,000. A lot.
Right, right.
yeah.
Right. That's what we were out of space. That's like, yeah, we're just running out of funds. So they just have to pick up somewhere else, but we just need our immediate
Right,
areas.
right.
We're hoping to get slightly up to 5 or some of them 20 years old. So,
Yeah.
so most people don't know. So, maybe not count. But I call it a letter in there. I don't understand this. So I'm trying to put, why am I getting this? What do I need to do? What's it mean?
Right.
First 2,000% that worked very well. But the second batch, not so much for some reason. I get lots of calls and people coming in.
Low hanging fruit,
Yes,
right?
that's what we said. Well, apparently we got that first batch, but this one, it's not working. So,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Possible wrong. Yeah.
Good.
That's not here. You know, there's 17 from here. One. I tried to put that in mind.
That made me bring my whole.
It might be hopelessly optimistic, but I try. You know, that's all I can do.
Hold on to it, yeah.
I'm trying. Good to see you.
Nice seeing you too.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Good. Moving on up, now you got up on the bench now.
And they stuck me in the middle, kind of too, which is funny for a lot of people, I guess, but not so funny for me. And I got the big chair too. He said the big chair hurts back. That's, I don't know how that's a thing, but I guess it did. Only took me, what, 20 minutes to look up and scan the room?
Yeah. That's not bad.
No, it's,
You got that right on.
Jake said he sees you walking all the time.
Yeah. I seen that, that's our route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told him you remember him well. I said, you should probably give him some grief. He said he remembers you.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know if you remember him. I said, he
Yeah.
does. He
Oh,
remembers
yeah.
you well.
Yeah.
He's like, well, he says hi and stuff. I said, no, he remembers you. Yeah.
Mom got all moved out, didn't she?
What's that?
She sold the house, right?
Yeah.
It's all done.
Yeah.
She's moved
There's a whole new clan of
all new people in there.
crazy kids running around, and yeah. It's funny whenever I go to his house and I look over at my house. It's not my house anymore, and there's a bunch of kids, and it's like, I don't know, it's weird. It's almost like seeing the past, even though it's not us, because there's little kids running and mom's screaming at them, and oh, I remember that. Yeah, so,
I haven't really seen.
yeah, it's funny. They've been doing lots of stuff though too, so that's good. I think
Good.
they'll be good for the neighborhood.
That's good.
I suppose you can hear me still. Is that why? I just got a text that I'm the comedic relief somewhere. So send me another text if you can hear me. I mean, it's got to be the case. Yeah.
That's correct.
Oh, Johnny, you're right there. You could have answered my question.
Oh, what's your question?
Just wanted to know if everybody could hear how fun I'm being.
Oh, yeah, nothing's
Okay.
changed.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Now that we know that, Johnny, do you know any good jokes?
I do not.
That's a good answer. I don't either.
Sure, everything.
What is it?
Well, he can give us the sun, then I'm sure everybody needs that.
That's very true. Guess my person downstairs said they can hear you loud and clear, Mr. Jim Squires. I get called lots of names that aren't mine. Some guy that comes and says, I got a letter from Jim. Close.
John, you're there all by your own self?
Not quite. I do have an audience.
Oh, I didn't get over a month. They're going to stand now. I go like, now it's John, Martin, is too much. Wow. Yeah. And then you just said a different. It is frustrating. Like, you don't know, I mean, we'll get an email from Dr. when it's time to do it. I mean, we get one. Right. Because yours, they usually send to me, and then I forward to you, and, oh yeah, they're in it. And I, I first thought it was a legit thing. And I wonder how it was.
My wife's not sending me energy.
No. I got minutes. This is somebody who wants money to do it all. And I mean, there's nothing to it. Yeah. So how are you going with it? You gonna find the no. It wants to.
Motion to go back into,
Motion to go back
out
into
of
regular session.
executive session
Out of
into regular. Okay, motion's been made to go out of executive session and back into regular session.
Please.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carried. Okay, number 3, payroll change notices. What's the pleasure?
Motion to move forward A through F.
Okay. And G will be handled at a later date.
G will be handled at a later date.
Motion's been made to move forward with A through G and
A
at
through
a
F.
later date, or A through F, I'm sorry. And G will be handled later. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, number 4, minutes. There are several there. On the 14th, I believe at the 10 a.m., Commissioner Treehouse exited the room, and I believe due to the fact that he was on the board of Stars to Stride, and I have that put on record eventually. I believe so, might want to check that. And under number 19, the county administrator's last name is spelled incorrect. That's the only things I have on the minutes.
I do have one on B. Only page 2 was copied into the scan online, so if we could just hold off that work session for next, that way the complete minutes are posted.
Motion to move forward as stated by the commission president and county administrator.
Motion to move forward as stated. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Wait,
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. And I apologize, Jamie. It is past 10:15.
That's fine, I will wait.
Now you go right ahead.
Fine?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, Jamie. Okay. Sorry.
It's all good. May I approach and give you all some
Sure.
statistics I'd like you to have while I'm talking?
Thomas. There you go.
Mr. Spires?
Does he get one too? Can I get one of Thompson?
There you go. So I want to thank you for putting me on the agenda for today. The last time I came before the commission to request funding was 2014, and that was when we moved locations, and the commission was able to grant our request at that time. I'm coming before you today for several reasons. We have had, our agency has been impacted by COVID-19. We have instability at our primary funding source, which is our VOCA grant. We will be needing to increase staffing levels in response to child maltreatment cases. And I've lost $50,000 in foundation funding for the upcoming year that was dedicated to our other counties. Now, the statistics that I provided you with today are only for Harrison County. So just to give you, you may know what we do or you may not be aware of what we do, but we have two distinct roles. We assist in the investigation of crimes against children, and we provide advocacy services after a disclosure through the completion of any criminal justice response. So I've given you a little history of the way the need has grown in Harrison County. So the first fiscal year I was with the agency was 2012, 2013. We had 51 kids from Harrison County come to our agency. Last year we had 235 children. And that was during COVID year when a lot of places were shut down. The referrals weren't coming through like they would have ordinarily because kids weren't in school, there weren't eyes on them. 235 is the number for Harrison County. Overall, we saw 504 kids. So over the, since 2012, it's been a 360% increase in service provision for us. Just over the last 4 years, it's been a 65% increase in service provision for Harrison County. And just so you know how kids are routed to us, our referral sources, 142 of those children were routed from Child Protective Services. 83 were routed from law enforcement agencies throughout the county, from West Virginia State Police to the Harrison County Sheriff's Department, City of Clarksburg, Bridgeport, and smaller municipalities. And then we had 10 of those children come to us, were referred for services by family court judges or guardians ad litem. I wanted to let you know that the reason kids are sent to us, the reason for referral, presenting reasons, are neglect, drug endangerment, physical abuse, witness to violence, sexual abuse, exposure to pornography, depiction in pornography, and sex trafficking. And those were just the cases that we saw last fiscal year that ended on June 30th. Now, those numbers won't add up to 235 because a number of the children routed to us have multiple forms of abuse. So they may be in a drug endangered home, but also have witnessed, some of them have witnessed a homicide, some of them have witnessed the death of a parent. There's then been Narcan back multiple times. So when a child comes to us, we have certified forensic interviewers that are specialized in talking to them. Everything in our agency is geared for the emotional, physical, and psychological comfort of the child. So they go into a room with the forensic interviewer, members of law enforcement, sometimes the prosecuting attorney, Child Protective Services can watch the interview in real time from a room just across the hall. And then they're able to make sure that our interviewers ask all the questions they need to in one go. So we don't re-traumatize the child by having them tell multiple people. It's done in one shot. So last year, everything seemed to lag except with it in the criminal justice response. I mean, the courts were closed. But even at that, law enforcement made criminal charges on 86 of the cases. 43 of those cases were accepted for prosecution. 9 were convicted by plea. 13. 9 were convicted, I believe, by trial. 13 by plea. Advocacy services, we had 449 people. They received 1,249 different services from us last year. And then just to give you a snapshot of the ages, 59 of the victims were under age 6 or under. 114 were between the ages of 7 and 12. And 61 of those were between the ages of 13 and 18. We have one person on there that's over 18 because we often help law enforcement when they have a developmentally delayed adult that's trying to make a disclosure that they need some assistance with. So every time a predator is removed from our community, it makes it that much safer for all kids. It's not just justice for the ones that we've served. It makes it a safer community for all the children out there. So I'm asking, just based on all of that, if you would please consider including us in the Vital Services Levy so that we don't have to cut services during this upcoming year and during this very difficult time.
So what is your total loss in funding?
It's very vague right now. It's VOCA is our primary funding source, and there were issues on the federal level that they didn't get fixed. So they've told me to expect a loss. They've been very vague about that. Initial and the initial was 10% of funding from them, which would be for us a hit of $40,000. I don't know if it will hit us this October 1st, which is the beginning of the federal fiscal year, which is when that kicks off. I don't know whether the state will be able to step in, but they've told us to plan for those. So I didn't want to wait till October 1st. I wanted to approach you to see if you would be able to help.
You know, Madam President, I don't, whatever you and David want to do, you know, we have 2 agencies that we're very good to that we're going to give extra money to. It won't be $50,000, it would be $20,000. I would be happy to take the 10 back from them that we're very good to. We're not taking anything from them. And quite frankly, if they ever need us, we're gonna ante up anyway, because they're wonderful organizations. And I know that one of the people in those wonderful organizations who told you to come here to talk to us. So I don't mind moving that to you. But you're gonna have to give us a financial report to the county administrator like everybody did.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
also, or if David and Susan want to, just adding $20,000 more to the levy. I can do either. I knew we had play money, not play, it's not the right word. We had extra money because of some cuts we made to other entities that no longer need our help. But that's up to the two of them. I would be more than happy to ante that up. I can't think of what taxpayers' dollars could be used more importantly to than to protect our youth, and
Thank you.
woe to he whoever hurts these little ones. So
Thank you.
that's up to you two, what you want to do.
Well, we'll still have to vote on the final
Yeah,
levy.
absolutely.
Just at that time, unless you have any problem.
All I see we can do is take it under advisement. So
Oh, yeah.
there's no, nothing to do to that.
Right. But that's what our
Could I go
original
ahead
ban.
and get your financial records together and
What would you like to see?
what you have coming in, what you have going out, the whole picture?
Okay.
I don't feel like
okay.
we were asking you for anything special. We did that to everybody
Oh, no,
that's been in
no.
it forever, so.
I'm very transparent about that. I can tell you that I don't know what that cut's going to look like. I know what's been threatened, and I hate to use that term, but 10% doesn't sound like a lot, but for a small agency, $40,000 means someone's job at a time when I need to be adding to staff rather than.
And are there any other avenues that you can look into as far as funding?
We get state funding, we receive some state funding, this is federal funding, it is the biggest bucket, so to speak.
Are there any
That's where,
grants or anything, I mean, other than what you're telling me?
we have smaller grants, and then we just lost a $50,000 foundation grant, but it wasn't to serve Harrison County, it was to serve other counties. So with that, I can't supplant funding from one government source to another, so I was able to move individuals that were staffed under that foundation grant, slid under the federal grant, and now it's becoming unstable. But I will give you our budget and our audited financial statements,
That would be great.
and I'll make sure that you have those.
I think that's what we got. How
That's
many
it.
others was the last 2 years?
Last 2 years, absolutely, I can do that. Thank you very much for your consideration, I appreciate it.
You just email it back at the-
Okay,
email it on-
thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I believe we are on number 5, requisitions, purchase orders, and invoices. It's the pleasure.
Motion to move forward and adopt in the record. There was a couple, two that you missed that were just general. So,
Okay.
pop 'em.
Motion's been made to approve and adopt into the record. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 6, exoneration corrective tickets, joint property applications. A, exonerations or attached exhibit A, B, or exonerations exhibit B, and C, exoneration exhibit C. They're all exonerations.
Motion to move forward with A through C, please.
Motion's been made to move forward with A through Z under number 6, exonerations. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 7, review, discuss, consider resolution applying for an industrial access road for economic development project Harrison Regional Industrial Park.
Motion to move forward.
Okay. Motion to move forward with number 7. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Review, discuss, consider access and remediation letter agreement Thomas B. Childers for demolition of property.
Laura, have all the dots been checked?
Yes.
Motion to move forward.
Okay, motion,
Questions?
okay, motion's been made to move forward. Any discussion?
EFC is supposed to make payments in the amount of $100. And I don't see how it would put in there for him to correct if he doesn't pay for church. He wants to wait 12 months. There is no,
There's no penalty.
No ramification.
it just says if we're not happy, we can kill it, but we don't really say anything about, he don't, other than he's just gonna make monthly payments of $100, doesn't make them, there's, if he misses 2 or misses 3, does that kick him out?
So there's not gonna be, when we demo the properties, we take the demolition lien for the full value of the cost of demo, testing, engineering, if there is any. The demolition lien will stay valid until we are paid in full. So we would have the ability to collect on the lien through a forced sale of part of the property here. That would be the penalty. There's not a liquidated damage built in if he's payment. There's not an interest rider in this agreement if he doesn't make a payment on time. This is really candidly the first agreement where we have entered into a payment program with someone. Usually we just take the lien on the property just to try to secure the funding that we spend.
Why we entered into a
Yeah.
payment agreement on
Yeah,
this?
why? Why'd we do that? Whose idea was it?
It was our idea from a site visit with Mr. Childers. He felt that he could make some payments toward the lien value, and we felt like if he was going to be willing to make payments, we would take him up on that opportunity and let him make payments in a reasonable amount. That was the extent of it.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't wanna get in that business from this point on.
Just wanna take the liens.
Yeah, I don't wanna get in a
Okay.
payment plan, because David's right, we have no repercussion.
Well, the repercussion is he doesn't satisfy, we still have the lien on the property for the full demolition value, and we collect on the lien.
Okay.
So this is actually,
I just look trade, if I make 100 this month, skip a month, make 100, I'm gonna go to the judge saying I'm making an almost 10, and then we're gonna get,
Yeah,
okay,
we're just gonna get in an argument over, we don't really say whether we're gonna accept that, if we accept 100 1 month, and then wait 3 months, accept 100. When do we actually say he doesn't get the opportunity to keep playing the $100 a month game and it's over? But that's my question. Once he breaks that, then it automatically goes to us and it's over, but that's what I don't see is.
so
I know
you're
we
you're
have
talking
a
about,
lien,
you're talking about getting in a fight over partial satisfaction of the lien.
Yeah.
I understand the point.
So I would just prefer that we didn't do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Point noted.
thank you. So motion to move forward today.
Okay, motion to move forward today. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Review, discuss, consider assignment of contract between Marion County Parks and Recreation and Harrison County Commission.
Motion to move forward. And adopt and record.
Is this just part of the record, or this is something we discussed previously, we were just,
This is the
Gathering.
contract that we're,
oh, okay.
The concept was approved before Commissioner Hinkle and the commission
You wanted
requested
more
that
information.
I prepare a formal document,
Okay,
which would transfer approximately 3.5 miles of the Northern Rail Trail from the Marion County Parks and Rec to the Harrison County Commission. The State Rail Authority will also have to consent because they have that right within the existing lease agreement, and this just effectuates the lease transfer.
Thank you.
and we're actually just taking the assignment of the lease
from Marion County Parks and Rec, is that correct?
For the,
And have you read that and ready to advise us on that existing lease, and how it compares to the leases we already have?
I've reviewed the lease.
How does it compare to the ones we already have with
It's
West
very,
Virginia?
it's very similar to the existing leases that we have, State Rail Authority, on a number of the parcels throughout Harrison County. Trying to pull it up here, Commissioner, I don't think there are any substantial material differences.
I don't know, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah,
We've
so
got
there's,
several leases, and I just like to know this agreement saying, everybody here's hopped quick to jump to say they wanna accept something, and I just got the lease agreement because I bothered to read it. For now, I didn't have it beforehand, and I'm not sure if anybody here knows what they're agreeing to when they say this as far as the lease goes. We're just making an assumption. Does anybody know how long this lease runs? It's sitting up here?
No, I can't say right now. No, I can't.
Okay. Anybody know what the particulars are, how much we have to insure it? How we have to maintain it?
I would say we would do it just the way we do with the others.
Well, not all the lease agreements are the same.
they are almost identical because they all
Did
come.
anything stick out that we need to be concerned about?
No, they all come from the State Rail Authority, and that's the party we have to get consent to that we went to as part of the process here, which is why it took some time, because each lease has a consent provision built in. And Charlotte and I have looked at a number of these leases over time, and they are all essentially identical in shape, form, material conditions, obligations for repair, duty to keep integrity of the trail. This lease is, I think it is verbatim with our leases in southern Harrison County from State Rail.
Are there terms on any of the other leases?
The leases all have underlying, what I call primary terms that renew periodically, subject to the State Rail Authority's ability to revoke it if they would ever choose to do that. The leases are similar in that we can't go in there and put a bunch of structures in the rail trail right away, because if they'd ever want to take it back for some type of public transportation purpose, they can do that. Charlotte, do you have any additional comments?
The remainder amount, time on this lease is seven years. And at that time, we will have to renew it. There is also where we have to still keep insurance on it. I can't remember the amount.
It's $1 million.
$1 million, yeah.
So we'll have to do that in the grant.
What will that cost be, increase if any?
But basically, the leases are basically the same.
One thing we should look at as a commission is how the leases do align in terms of term, because we want to obviously keep one trail in its integrity, right? But Commissioner Hinkle, the leases are all really,
Except for their taste, it seems. The one thing that I find interesting is that our leases are with the Harrison County Commission, and theirs are with the Marion County Parks and Recreation Commission. I'm curious why we're putting our agreements in Harrison County Commission and not Parks.
and that's a question for you all on a policy level. Marion County delegated their rail trail to their parks. It's Mr. Bukowski, Charlotte, who oversees that. He and I have spoken several times. That's something they elected to do as a commission, delegate the rail trail to Parks and Rec, whereas I believe you all have delegated it in large measure to planning department, historic.
Okay, motion's been made to move forward, fix the appropriate signatures, is that correct?
Please.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, if we do it the way it's set up, I'm curious where the money's gonna come from for maintenance. If we accept it,
Wherever it's coming from now.
we don't, there is no money now, doesn't it? We got 4 miles of rail trail, whatever it is, you guys are getting ready to set to cost us nothing. And now we're gonna take on 4 miles of rail
We've
trail.
been paying, where we've been paying from.
We haven't maintained this trail. This trail was.
I
all-
understand that, but the other trails, where have we been taking money from there?
Mostly it comes from general fund.
General
That's
fund.
what I thought. Thank you.
So that's where all future maintenance and improvements are gonna come from, is the general fund.
Well, I think at some point we have discussed sitting down to take a look and see how you wanna do how we wanna do the rail trail.
So how much are we expending now to maintain rail trails? How much is this gonna increase our cost to take this trail on? Just asking questions, we're getting ready to take on 4 more miles of maintenance. Is it something we can afford?
I would say yes.
And where's it coming from? Straight out of the general budget?
Currently it'll come out of maintenance department.
Maintenance department has the money for this and all the other stuff they're from.
They have been fitting the bill for the rail trail currently.
You take on all this property.
What property?
Well, you got 2 new buildings that you got a building across the street that you have to work on, that is gonna be expended. At least this is given back to the people. So,
So the building across the street is not given back to the people. I think there's a lot of unanswered questions to retake this.
well, that's your thoughts. Okay. Any further?
Nope.
All in favor of moving forward with number 9, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
No.
Should we note the opposition, please? Okay, review, discuss, make part of record Brushy Fork Resources LLC surface mine. DEP, West Virginia DEP Phase 3 permit. This is just for the record,
Yeah, motion to adopt the record, please.
a motion to make part of today's record.
Yeah,
Any further discussion?
no.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 11, review, discuss, consider budget revision 001 for fiscal year 21-22, Fund 001.
Motion to move forward with budget revision 001, please.
Motion to move forward with the budget revision.
Laura, could you please give us what this is all about? and what's been done?
This is the budget revision that is due on July 30th. At the beginning of fiscal year, we said that we would have 4.6 million in the fund balance. And unfortunately, we were not at that 4.6 million, so we are taking $231,743 from the regional jail currently to make up that difference.
So we're taking this from what was left over from the regional jail to make this correction?
No, actually, it comes out of this year's budget.
Of the regional budget, regional jail bill?
Correct,
So we're already moving money out of the regional jail for this year?
correct.
We discussed that.
That is the only place right now, because the budget is so thin that we can take it for this July 30th deadline.
And when did we discuss that's the only place in town that we could make those corrections those?
We did not discuss that.
So,
Given the task to,
who gave her the task? This, we never voted to give her that task. I'm trying to figure out who.
okay, you figure it out. Get it figured
No,
out.
I just like to know when who gets to tell her this stuff and have her do this. Because I thought it was. a
Well,
commission
she's took
issue.
it up on herself knowing it was due, got it done, and now we're here.
and she didn't sit down with none of us to discuss what she was doing?
I didn't discuss it.
So
I,
it just doesn't matter? We just
No, it
now
just-
spent said today we have money to maintain a new trail, and we just had to transfer money. You don't think that's a work session that we should be having to discuss why we're short and where we're pulling these
if we
funds?
had to discuss everything that we do in a work session, we'd be here 24/7. And not that I don't mind being
Well, I
here
know,
more
I know, I
often.
don't have an issue with it, but
You used to, but you don't anymore.
no,
but,
I've always been here, Susan.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, that's all I'm saying.
So
Nothing further for me.
we're just transferring money based on her, and you guys are approving without looking at the budget. Is that what I'm hearing? We're making a motion just to transfer out of the jail bill with no discussion.
Well, we're just.
We got lots of money.
No, I didn't say we had lots of
Well, we
money.
have to, we just.
No,
took
you
on
spent it
4
all.
miles. We just
You
took
spent
4
it all.
miles. I spent it all.
Okay, motion
I
is on the
did.
table for
Never the
number
commission,
11.
right?
No,
I
it was
did.
a commission. No, it was a commission.
Well, then why don't you say that, quit saying I did.
Well, you want to blame us for everything else.
Well,
I'm not gonna act like a child. I'm done.
That's
Okay,
not
number,
like a
number
child.
11. All in favor signify by
I'm
saying
not done
aye.
discussing. I want to
Aye.
know if there's any other
Any opposed
places
to 11?
come.
Any opposed to 11?
No, Susan, you can't. I want to know if there's other places that money can come from. And I have that right to ask that right now. And if the attorney tells you otherwise, then you need to fire him. Because we're
That's
in
not how-
discussion.
I'll
Commissioner
tell you
Hinkle,
that.
you know my attitude on this is let's ask the question, let's talk about it.
And I'm trying to ask the
100%.
question, why wasn't there
Let's talk
any place
about
else to take the money?
She told you why there wasn't any place else to take the money.
No, that was just the simplest. That had the largest lump sum. That's what I got from her answer. I didn't get that she couldn't go down through and take it away from any other organization. Or part of it. All I got was, the simplest was, take it from the jail bill. She could have taken half of the jail bill and taken some of it from other departments.
Well, she-
And that's our decision to take money away from departments, not hers. And if you don't want that, then resign your job.
That's what you'd love for me to do, isn't it?
No,
Oh,
I'd
yeah,
like
it
for you
is.
to do your
Yeah.
job and talk about this stuff. Because it's
I'm
not
glad
being
you
talked
guys get to
about
sit
here.
and look. It's real
This is
nice.
really
It
witnessing
is,
something
it is.
bad.
Yeah, it is. It has been for.
Hey, let's just go ahead and spend this money and we don't care. That's what I'm hearing. So as far as I'm concerned, it needs to be tabled if this commission doesn't want to sit down and discuss where these funds are coming from and how they're being handled.
Well, I believe the two of us have
Have what?
voted in the affirmative on this motion.
So the two of you have already discussed it.
No, we have not
Well,
discussed
how
it.
can you vote on it?
I have reviewed it.
Reviewed what? Did she swapped over the money? You went down and looked through the rest of the budget to see if there wasn't anywhere else to get it? Can you sit there and say that you did that?
I didn't.
Okay, so
Did you?
then how? I just found out where the money came from. That's why
You
we're sitting
couldn't,
here.
could you not read what she had on there?
Let's go get it.
I'm
12,
not
so-
arguing.
Yeah, let's go get it 12.
No, we're gonna finish 11.
Okay.
Any opposed?
Well, I
Is it-
make
are you
an addendum. I make a,
We gotta finish the first motion. You
I
can't amend
make an
his
addendum
motion.
to the motion to table it.
Well, I believe Mr. Treecost has to make
My
an amendment
motion's
to his.
first and then you go vote on
Okay,
this.
okay, you set me straight, thank you, David. Okay, Motion, you want to make the addendum, what addendum do you want to make,
I
Mr.
said I
Hinkle?
want to table them.
Okay, it's been made, Mr. Hinkle has made the motion to table number 11. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? No. Okay, motion failed. First motion, motion to move forward with number 11 as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
No.
Okay. Okay, review, discuss, consider order reappointing members and setting terms of office for new members of the Charles Point Economic Opportunity Development District Board of Directors.
Laura, what are the names of these individuals?
Mark Delana is a reappointment, and James Cava is a new appointment.
Who is he? Who he replaced?
I do not, Tommy Amy did not send that information over.
Motion to move forward reappointment and no appointment of Mr. Kavanaugh.
Okay, motion to move forward.
Discussion, how's Mark Delaney not a conflict, correct?
You gotta give me some.
He works
context.
for Charles Point.
What's his position, what does he
He's
do?
number 2.
Okay. Do they have internal bylaws at the Charles Point Economic Opportunity Development District Board of Directors? Do they have
Good question.
rules? I
Is there any-
can't sit here today and say in a vacuum without looking at that stuff if there's a conflict or not. And you know that. If you want me to look at it, I've got to get their bylaws, I've got to understand what their board does, how it works, how it operates.
Can we speak to Tommy Amon about this and maybe he can,
Certainly can, yeah. He deals with them.
is this something that has to happen? Does not have to
You
happen.
can table it.
So we can table it and,
We can actually move forward with Mr. Cavan and then Mr. Delaney. Table both, okay. Motion table.
okay, motion to table item number 12. All in favor signify by saying aye.
No.
Aye. And Laura, will you get in touch with, any opposed? Get in touch with Mr. Raymond and see. Okay, review, discuss, consider date to schedule a hearing to potentially appoint sheriff as administrator of the estate of Sharon Sue Richards as per the request.
Yeah, I understand this is a request by the family, motion to move forward to pass this on to the sheriff.
Well, you gotta schedule it.
Yeah, schedule.
September 1st, 10:20 a.m.
Yeah, motion to move forward as stated at the date.
Okay, motion's been made to move forward for September 1st hearing. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Review, discuss, consider administrative order courts not being closed on September 3rd, 2021.
Well, that's already on the schedule, Madam President, so I don't want to take it off this year, but further notice that will not be a half a day if the
The
festival
courthouse will
continues.
have to be open for
Yeah.
courts.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to keep the court open as well as
Security will be-
security. But at the same time, unfortunately, the festival chooses to move to Jacksonville permanently, so it won't be required for us to have a day, to shut down the courthouse anyway. Okay. So, I'm not sure how to go with that. Motion to continue as business as usual, but work through the county administrator to have the necessary employees here.
Well, you
To
can't
fulfill
have
that
business as
afternoon.
usual if you're gonna
Yeah.
close everything but the courts.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Everybody has to work Friday.
Okay,
Yeah, that's, I think that's.
I mean, I don't know what we can do.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm trying to figure out a way around it, I
I
can't.
just
I agree, I'm sorry.
have to open it up.
But if they move back, it's a no-brainer again. I mean, we can't have people going to a stage.
So we're making a motion that the 3rd, it'll be business as usual.
Yeah.
All day.
Okay.
Okay, motion's been made to be open all day on September 3rd. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Number 15, review, discuss, consider hiring ARP consultants.
Motion to move forward with Randy Spellman, and as noted by our notes given to the county administrator.
Okay, motion's been made to move forward with Randy Spellman.
Discussion. Why are we not advertising? Why do we think that we can do this without advertising? To Mr. Truecost, you're the representative for state auditor. I don't understand why you can't help us with this. That's what you were hired by the auditor's office. 3, I've checked around with other counties. Only one county has bothered to do this, and they hired a law firm. They all feel that they can handle it. I think Laura just came back, and most of what was told over the weekend, Laura, if I'm not correct, was there's gonna be portals set up and everything set up to handle this to the auditor's office, correct?
They are working on getting portals set up and
So we're about to go out and say that you wanna hire somebody at $95 an hour with no limit on the hours at county administrator's discretion to gather information that we have staff here, I don't know, but we have, that can ask any PSD or municipality or city if they wanna have a use of the funds. They already have their own funds, so they must know what they're doing. They're not hiring somebody, so we'll be adding to their fund. And I don't need somebody to rank projects that I think are good for the county. And I just don't understand that we're paying her good money, we're paying an attorney sitting over here $250 an hour, and now we wanna go out and spend $95 an hour. Why don't we just save ourselves a whole bunch of money and hire somebody?
Well, we are gonna hire
No,
somebody.
I mean hire somebody to sit in this office and work all the time on all kinds of county stuff. Because evidently, this $95 an hour could end up being a couple $100,000 a year. You don't have any idea, you don't even put the cap on. And again, you're getting ready to hire somebody, I'd like to see his resume that says that he's appropriate to do this. And why we're not going out for bid, we just went through a thing where at least somebody else took time to put the advertising for 3 weeks, we're not even advertising it. Where is the gun that's being held to our head, hire this guy immediately? From 1 week to the next week, we're still on the same person. And he's, I don't have anybody else to choose from. You just making a suggestion and that's it. So, what the hell, if we're gonna throw names out, let's just throw names out and vote on them. Let's not do it the right way.
Madam
I
President,
mean, Mr. Attorney, can we just hire somebody at the drop of a hat? We don't have to advertise?
Under 713N, county has the ability to hire consultants, personnel, employees. We've talked before about practices of bidding jobs out, and we've been down that hole before. The answer is, yeah, you can hire somebody. Or like we've talked about before, if you're gonna hire a consultant, you can post it. It's a policy decision for you all to make. We've talked about this before in many different contexts, but you all certainly do have the right under 713N to hire people, fire people, discharge. Up to you all how you wanna do it.
and Madam President, may I? You know, to be honest with you, David, we did have an interview process,
That wasn't for this job.
and you chose not to attend,
Wasn't for this
but it
job.
was your choice not to attend.
Yes, sir, because he wasn't
Now,
qualified
it's my
for
turn
the
to
job
talk.
that
I
he
didn't interrupt you.
Okay, go ahead.
But you chose not to attend the interview process that we put a great deal of time into. We interviewed candidates. We discussed things after we interviewed candidates. And we came up with what we thought was who was strong in what positions. But you chose not to be a part of that. But a very thorough discussion was taken amongst us who took part in it. We interviewed the candidates that applied. We can do no more than that. Every single meeting, we come in here and do exactly as you ask us to. You ask us to put a criteria together, and we did that.
And I'm here to approve that criteria.
And that a
put it
criteria,
out
and
for
now
bid.
we have found an individual in the interview process,
Who's we?
Susan and I, that
So-
you chose, I'm talking, David.
Okay.
You chose not to attend even though you handpicked the dates and the times. We are incredibly gracious to you, and quite frankly, every single meeting, we turn the cheek. And we do that for the betterment of this county. Now, we found an individual that we can believe that can work well with our county administrator, kind of be the center of a wheel, feed the spokes, and make sure the wheel is balanced to move this county forward with the ARP money to make sure the most money we have can be used for the biggest bang. We're gonna change Harrison County forever with the other guy's dollar right now. And we have discussed this in detail for what we believe is the best process to move this county forward. But if we can't do exactly what you want and still please you, I don't know where to go from there. I don't know what to do.
Are you done?
No, I'm not
Okay.
done. But every meeting you make this about you, and every meeting we turn the other cheek, as I stated. An individual wins a county commission race, and you steal the headline by calling him a cheat.
I didn't
An
call
individual
anybody
becomes
cheap.
county commission, you did. And
Let's
you,
show
and
it to me,
a county,
Betsy,
and a
'cause
president,
I'll
and some,
take you
David,
for it
I'm
if that-
talking, and I'm very respectful to you. And I always have been, and always will be. You can't change that. Nothing you can do can change that.
Oh, probably.
No, it can't. Your darkness is not greater than the light.
Okay.
Somebody becomes county commission president, you steal the headline. Somebody gets hired to a great position here, you say they're not qualified, and you steal the headline.
Not a
At the
headline,
airport,
Betsy.
you make it clear it's you. At the commission, you make it clear it's you. Well, congratulations, but at the same time, we're gonna continue to move this county forward in a positive manner because there's 48 other counties in the state of West Virginia that wish they were us, and we have a great county. And we're gonna move it forward, and we're gonna invest in every inch of it to the best of our ability. And we're gonna make the people here happy, and we're gonna become the second county in the state of West Virginia that actually has a population growth increase. That's our goal, to make us the best place in the world to live in West Virginia. And I don't know what else we can do other than every meeting turn the cheek to you and come back and do exactly what you say. And hopefully it'd be good enough, but it never is. I don't know where to go from doing exactly what you want. We schedule times at your convenience, dates at your convenience. We adjust our schedule. But we will continue to do that, and we will continue to look at the positive, whether it's a rural trail or it's water and sewer in the county, and you can continue to look at the negative. But that's as simple as that is. And we're gonna move Mr. Spellman into the position if Susan so decides, because we interviewed, we discussed, and we realized we're putting a team together that's gonna work with engineers, that's gonna work with community, that's gonna work with city councils, that's gonna work with councilmen, mayors, directors. I mean, it's exciting. We're gonna encompass all together in the 68,000 people to make it bigger and better than ever. So the motion I make, and you can finish your discussion, but I'm done, is to move Randy Spillman into the position. And last week, you opened up my eyes that he actually can do more with Laura than I even thought to. While you called him a curb measure, I didn't realize, my God, he could actually help us in other areas in the county. We appreciate his experience, and we're looking forward to utilizing it. Motion on the floor is to move Randy Spillman
Are you
as
done?
the AP, ARP director.
Well, I'm glad that you made that wonderful speech, and I'm glad to know that I was never informed that we were interviewing these people for two jobs. So it's now come to my attention that while you were interviewing them for director, you were also interviewing them for this job, that's what you just said. That's what you said, you talked to them and you figured out that they had something else that they could offer. Didn't know we were looking for this job. So don't believe we need anybody. You're gonna pay somebody $3,800 a week. Laura, how much do you make a week? Not $3,800 a week, but we're gonna pay this person $3,800 a week. So why didn't you just hire him to take her job? $3,800 a week. What's that, $160,000 a year we're gonna pay this person? No time limit. No minimum hours. And you wanna hire somebody. And again, I thought you were the person that the state designated to help counties with how to do this. So is that not the case? You can't advise us what to do, we don't have to pay somebody $95 an hour? 'Cause I know, I've had 10 people ask about this job. They'd love to be able to, offer their services for this job, but we're not gonna give them that opportunity. You don't even know who's out there that could do this job better. Because you won't give anybody in this county the opportunity to take this job. You've already decided. And as I've said all along, this is what you need. I'm more than happy to do it for free. I'll take the time to save the county $100,000, $200,000. So, there you are. This isn't a hard job. Anybody can make these phone calls from Charlotte or anybody in our grant department. If our grant department can't handle keeping track of this funding through the stuff that the auditor's office who you work for is setting up, then maybe the auditor and you need to come discuss with us some more why we're gonna have these issues if we need somebody at $100 an hour. Or 95, I'm sorry. I think it needs to be advertised, and it needs to be, say, how much we're willing to pay. 10 hours a week in it, 15 hours a week in it, there's nothing here that says. No controls.
Are you done?
Yes, ma'am. My motion is to table and put it out for advertising for 2 weeks.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to table this and for 2 weeks, is that what you said? And put it out to bid, or put it
Yep.
out to advertise,
To give other people a chance.
and give other people a chance. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay,
The motion on the floor is to move forward the hiring of Randy Spillman to assist Laura Pease.
okay. Motion on the floor, as stated by Commissioner Treecost. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Hearing none. I mean, please note the opposition. Correct myself. Motion carried. Okay, Laura, administrator's report.
Had productive, training with the name of the auditor's office, past couple days. Working with the sheriff on the 609 West Main Street building, and their budget and the balance and everything. I know you guys are aware of what you allotted him to use for renovations, but we're keeping, a pretty good track of those numbers to make sure we don't go 1 penny over. I'm actually meeting with him and Joe Carbaccio on Thursday, just to get an idea of where they're at and talk about what their balance is. And, yeah. That's all I have.
I mean, my question to them when you talk to them is, I saw where he's taking some money out of law enforcement for that bill.
I will bring that up to him as well.
Okay.
Yes, Laura, where were you, Sunday and Monday?
I was at training,
For,
fourth training from the auditor's office.
from the auditor's office, you were training?
Auditors and the Association of County Commissioners.
Training for what?
For different things that the auditor's office put together on this agenda.
You didn't have, special training from attorney from Boulder Rice?
There was special training from them. They did.
About what?
I believe they were the FOIA requests. There was also one on, open meetings and sunshine law.
Anything from Howard Seffer?
Howard did talk,
About what?
I don't recall which his presentation was.
Doesn't have anything to do with ARP?
There was a lot of talk about ARP with the,
So did you learn anything about ARP and you don't think you can handle it and that's why we had to hire somebody today to help you?
I learned a lot about ARP. Is ARP something that I would want to take on with all my other duties and responsibilities, no, I think that that needs its own special attention, just so we make sure that we are in compliance and we are using every dollar available to us in a proper way.
Did you sit in with, the interview with the gentleman we just hired to see if he's qualified for handling ARP funds?
I did not.
So we just hired you somebody that you know nothing about, whether he is technically a consultant for ARP and has not done anything with ARP to help you.
I did not sit in on his interview. I do know him from working at the city of Bridgeport. He was a colleague of mine when I worked there.
What did he do there?
Code enforcement.
Was he at, Canaan to, go through the auditors, any of the auditors' classes that had to do with ARP?
No.
So, again, we've hired somebody that didn't even bother, not very good at taking ARP. Did the auditor say there'd be other schooling for
Well,
people?
The auditor is trying to make as much information available and accessible to all counties and municipalities, so there will be training.
So we're gonna send him? Is that your plan?
I would,
At $95 an hour? HM?
if that is his task and responsibility, yes, I expect him to attend.
Wow. Are you going to attend? Or is he just gonna be our expert?
That is something we can discuss at a later time.
That's all I need from her.
I don't have-
Did any of the other commissioners attend
There were a lot of commissioners there,
from Harrison County?
yes.
And who attended?
Commissioner Treecost,
Was Mr. Treecost there as a commissioner, or was he there as a employee of the auditor's office?
as a commissioner, when I saw him, it was about being Harrison County Commissioner.
Did he speak?
I don't recall him speaking at all.
Okay, thank you.
And I just want to put out there, I was not there because my husband was sick, so he knows, I'm sure he knows that, but I want to make sure that
I
everybody knows that.
we're at the clerk's convention, but that's all right.
Yes, I did go visit the clerk. Yeah, I did.
So,
I didn't have to drive 2 hours. And if something happened to my, you are just unreal, David Hinkle. Okay. Patsy, you have anything?
You know, actually, I don't. Thank you all. Motion adjourned. If you don't have-
Well, we gotta wait till he gets a little more time.
Okay. I have to make a phone call. Excuse myself. That's all.
Okay. I have nothing. I think I've said all my piece. Well, let it rip there.
we have, I put it on the agenda, but I'll never put anything on the agenda again afterwards. You did it last time I had agenda items. It's the only place I know to do it. Parks and Rec, and I'm guilty, is been improperly handled since 1971. And I'm gonna ask Trey to get it straightened out because it is its own entity and the Harrison County Commission doesn't have a say other than appointments. It's supposed to be its own standalone entity and spend its own money, and we don't have a dog in the fight as far as money goes. And evidently, previous commissioners knew this and were willing to say that it was an advisory. In 1971, per state law, it was made a commission. It's supposed to have its own bank account, its own money, and we're not supposed to have our nose in how they spend it. And I would like for our attorney to get us back on track so that we can transfer this levy money and all the other money over to them and whatever property they were supposed to own during that period. And correct the wrong what's been done to Parks and Rec since 1971 by Harrison County Commission.
Take a look at it, Commissioner. I'll also need audit findings, but I assume the auditor looks at that issue as well. But I'll take a look at it and get you an opinion.
Our Parks and Rec isn't any different than Marion County's Parks and Rec. And they operate autonomously from the Marion County Commission. That is why they were able to give us the property in Montauk County, Marion County Commission. So we've been telling them how to spend their money, and that's not our job. So I would like to see the board pulled together, truly explain how they've been misled that they're an advisory board when they are a actual commission. And then I think that, we need to, then look at the money that we think we're spending without their permission. Because it's up to their board to decide where this money's spent, not us. That comes from the levy.
Anything else?
Nope.
Motion?
Motion adjourned.
Motion to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.